Alexa, stop. Hey guys, welcome back. For those of you who have a very good investigative eye, yes, I am probably done 2 videos on the same night, but you know, why not? So, for those of you who haven't watched the previous video, or the video after this, depending on which one gets uploaded first, one is obviously about my mental health and depression, blah, 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 blah. Go check that one out, my lovelies. I all want you to know how I've overcome depression in the last year or so. Yeah, so go check that one out. This one, for those of you who have been asking, is about my condition of hypochondroplasia. So, let's get into the video, guys. So, for those of you who do not know, I do have a form of short stature dwarfism, and the medical term of my condition is called hypochondroplasia. So, it's a long word. Sometimes I struggle to say it, but yeah. So, I have see? Knew it was gonna happen. So, I have hypochondroplasia, which again is a form of short stature dwarfism. So, it only affects the limbs of my body. The rest of my body is actually proportionate to an average height person of like my age, etc. So, for those of you who can probably see, is like what you can see, I've got very small hands. And yeah, ignore that, by the way. That's the time I'm meant to start working tomorrow, because tomorrow's might be my day off. And then yeah, so that was reminding me, which 7:45 to 5:15, a 9-hour shift. Anyway, yeah, so my hands, well, as you can see, you can probably tell, like, I've got small hands, short fingers, fat and chubby at that. But the most noticeable thing with my hands is my thumb. Yeah, sorry, anxiety related things sometimes. But like the way my thumbnail is, it's like more rectangular than like square or oval. So you know how most people like have like them really nice long thumbnails? Yeah, I don't have that. So if I ever wanted to get fake nails or acrylic nails or whatever, nah, ain't happening. Tried it once, never happening again. So that is like kind of what you notice first. Also my legs. As I mentioned in one of the previous videos, I have both legs. And I was going to try to show you this, but I don't know how I'm going to do this. Unless I just stand up on the sofa. So please, guys, do not judge me. And if I fall, please do not laugh. So what? I am actually wearing shorts just to be able to do this. Ah! See, I knew this wasn't going to happen. Let me see if I can adjust. There you go. So as you can see, oh my goodness, my horrible thighs. So yeah, as you can see, like how my legs are there, you can tell. So they go like down, and then here is where they are bowed. So, and sometimes like my ankles will go like this, so it's really sore on my feet and my legs. But this, my right leg, is more straight, but it's still bowed here, but it is more straight. Whereas this leg, in my left knee, there's a slight bend. Now, if I turn round, hopefully I don't fall, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like two, like the lines here are different areas. So in fact, you can actually tell this my left leg is more bowed compared to this one. So with them, sorry guys, I'm just gonna lift you back up again. With that, my left knee has like a slight bend in it, so the bone, so it kind of like goes straight, and then there's like just like kind of slight bend curvature within my left knee, whereas my right knee is straight. Although your knee's bent anyway, obviously, normally, just like how the bone is, yeah, so I have a slightly bent knee. So this leg, my left leg is slightly shorter than my right leg. I also have a curvature in my spine. So like the way my spine goes is it's literally like this. And then right here, down here at the bottom between, is it your groin? Or your hip? Groin? Well, your hips are here, but like your groin, like that bit, you know, like, yeah, you guys will know what I mean. Literally, so it goes right like this, and then it's like, whoop. Just how it is. So yeah, so that is kind of common in dwarfism, but not so much my type of dwarfism. So when this was noticed, it only developed as I was around, I want to say 10 years old. My condition wasn't actually picked up on until I was about preschool age, like nursery age, so about 4, 5 years old. 4 years old, 3 years old, 4? 4 years old, I want to say. 4 to 5 years old I was when it was starting to notice. And it was my nursery teacher who noticed I wasn't like reaching like my milestones as everybody else was. Like everybody else was like, and I was just like, what? So they obviously told my mom, and then my mom went to the doctor, and then the doctor, well, our GP realised, right, it's not something he can quite deal with. So he referred me to the doctor in our local town, who then was like running some tests and was like and doing little blood tests, and they're like going, right, okay, we're not too sure about this. This isn't something we can specialize in to, and have the time and the money and stuff to give you the support and answers you need. So that is when I then eventually got referred up to the York Hill Children's Hospital in Glasgow. Obviously, it's now all changed for people who live in Glasgow. They know about it. Other people won't, obviously. But I got referred up there, and I got put with probably the most amazing doctor who I owe a lot to for helping me and having me on, like, keeping me on my back. Oh my god, I'm gonna start getting emotional about this. Wow. Yeah, Professor Ahmed, he was called. If anybody's ever in Glasgow and gets put with him, you'll always forever be grateful, because he saved my life. When I was, obviously, when we got put up there, I got many blood tests. I went through about a year or so of blood tests, x-rays, scans, everything. And then when I was, I want to say 8 years old, that's when I finally got diagnosed with hypochondroplasia. And it was only because of Professor Ahmed's ongoing, never-ending support and consistency of getting an answer that we know why I'm short and what I have. But yeah, when I was 8 years old, it's hard to understand that you're gonna forever be little. So I never really took much notice at the appointments. But my mum did, obviously. And unfortunately, when my condition was starting to get worse and we started to notice more issues within me, like the curvature with my spine and my bowed legs and everything, my mum unfortunately couldn't be there because she had been in a car accident and was disabled to come and support me. So my granddad had to do it. And thank God my granddad was there to support, but me, again, completely oblivious to what was going on. But anyway, as the years go by, the charts were defining that I probably wouldn't grow until, well, I would probably stop growing by the time I reached adulthood. And as my height was slowing down, my weight had to slow down, because the pressure, the weight was then putting on my knees, well, the lower half of my body, it was not going to support me. So the charts kept showing, they were like going like this, and then my weight was kind of going like that, but my height was going like that. So again, had to like make sure I was sticking to a diet and everything. And then I want to say probably around 13, 14 years old. And that's when we started to notice and confirm that was me. That was me stopping growing. So I hadn't even reached adulthood before I stopped growing. And unfortunately, throughout the years after I started my menstruals and all my hormones were starting, you know, as you turn older, you, as a woman, you develop all these hormones and start like your menstruals and everything. And unfortunately, because of that, that's when everything stopped. And it's nobody's fault. It's just a natural part of your life. It's a natural part of your body. But it was a hard one for me to learn that that was me. I wasn't ever going to grow again. And I looked at my friends to see how tall they were. And they were still going to grow. Another part, when I seen the light at the end of the tunnel, per se, was when my doctor told me that there was surgery. But I thought a surgery was going to solve everything, because at that time in my life, I was getting so severely bullied that obviously I resorted to self-harm and suicide. So I just thought, I'm not going to grow anymore. I don't want to do this. And I know it sounds selfish, but at that time, that's how my condition felt. Because I wasn't aware of anything. I'm the only person in my whole community, my whole family and everything, that was of short stature. And it was hard. It was a really hard battle to overcome. I got there. So when my doctor told me there was surgery, I was like, yes, I'm going to finally grow again. Unfortunately, that was me living in the dreamland and choosing to listen to what I wanted to listen to and not the facts. So there is surgery, but the repercussions that come from that are worse. So the surgery that I was being offered was to get my legs straightened. And it was just to get my legs, like the bones in my legs, straightened. But what I didn't realise that entailed was a 9 months to a year or 2 years in a wheelchair, completely wheelchair bound, and also to have big massive metal rods on my outer legs for that entire time, which they would have to break the bones, and then the metal rods would be placed around my outer legs and inserted into my legs, which I would then have to turn every single day to then straighten out and make a gap between the broken bone, to then insert a piece of metal eventually when the bone was ready, to then straighten it out. But then obviously the cons of this were, well, 9 to maybe 2 years maximum in a wheelchair, pain and agony for the entire time, weight gain because I'm completely wheelchair bound, but also infections because of the metal and everything else going on in my legs. So that was one option, but I chose, no, I don't want to take. But there was many times that I thought, I'm still going to go for it. It's gonna add some height to me, you know. And that's what I got told. It might add maybe an inch to you, but an inch. But that was the risk I was going to take because I wanted to be a bit taller. Sorry, I'm so emotional about this tonight. Wow. And the second surgery was the spine surgery to straighten out my spine. But for anybody who has had spine surgery before, which many people actually have had, it's another grueling, painful, long process. And one that I, touch wood, hopefully never need to take until my spine isn't bad. But obviously the con of that is you're better to get it when you're younger rather than you're older. So it's maybe something I do need to explore eventually, especially within the job that I'm in, working with children. You're carrying them all the time. Hurts your back. And the third treatment that I also got told about was a hormone treatment. However, with how my hormones were already, it was a definite no-go. So the hormone was going to try and trick my body into thinking it didn't quite have a condition, but it did. So that, like, no matter what treatment I would go for, I would have still had this condition regardless. So it's like weighing up my options. Do I take the risk of all these treatments, still be short, still probably be 4'3", or do I just accept my life as it is, be grateful that I am still healthy, well, and I have hopefully never will, nor have I had to yet, have surgery for my conditions. And for a while, I was weighing up the let's go down the treatment line. But eventually, the more I researched, and I actually watched people's stories who have had these surgeries and stuff, and who have like also hypochondroplasia or other types of like more severe types of dwarfism. And I mean like the achondroplasia and pseudochondroplasia, which for people who might be a little bit aware, like without labeling them, they're the more noticeable types of dwarfism because they are more like everything's proportionate. They are short throughout. They have to go through way more surgeries and actually have to go through them, whereas I have been fortunate that I haven't had to yet. And they've wished that they never had to because the pain that they have endured from it is now a lifetime that they have to go through. So I eventually just went, no, I'm going to accept me for who I am, how I am, and live my life as a woman who is 4'3", and just embrace my height, embrace who I am, because my height doesn't define me. It's made me the person I am today because I have went through a whole lot of shit of bullying and other reasons and everything else, but it's made me the person I am today. So yeah, that is the story of my dwarfism, guys. Obviously, I mean, you think about people with dwarfism and the success they go through. I mean, think about Great Britain. Feels weird saying Great Britain. Think about the UK or whatever. I mean, look, the Olympics, the Paralympics, we have Ellie Simmons, a gold medalist, whatever you want to call her, Olympic swimmer. Look at her. And she's got, not hypochondroplasia, she's got achondroplasia, I want to say. Look at Little Man and, I don't know, all these comedians that are like I have dwarfism and I can't even think of their names now. Think of all the people who play in the pantos for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and whatever else. I mean, there's huge success for people with dwarfism, but I think there's still not enough like not publicity, what's the word? You know, like stories, like understanding. Like, quite a lot of people with dwarfism are quite hidden from the public eye. And it shouldn't be like that. People need to learn more about dwarfism and not think that we're some sort of freaks, which I get called. I get called freak. I get called the M word. I get called a dwarf. I get called whatever. I even have people saying hi ho, hi ho. I mean, come on. Like, really? You know what? It's funny, like, they used to sing it and it really bugged me. But then, now I just go, it's off to work we go. Because they go, hi ho, hi ho. And I'm like going, it's off to work we go. And then they're shocked. They're like, oh, fuck, okay. She didn't think that was offensive at all. Yeah, it hurt me inside. But I was just like, you probably got a small dick. I always think that now. I mean, the other day, some 3-4 guys, probably about my age, walked past me. Oh, look, there's somebody with dwarfism. Let's be funny in front of my mates and call her the M word. I knew it was about to happen. Literally, I seen them and I went, okay, maybe it's bad for me for being judgmental, but you could just tell. I'm like going, that one's going to call me something. Guarantee it. Comes past on his bike with his mates. Oi, midget. I'm like going, really? I just stuck my middle finger up and went, bye. You know, so it's still low lives like that have nothing better to do than give somebody else some misery. But you know what? I don't let it get to me anymore. Yes, I'm talking about it, and you probably think, oh, Amy's like letting this get to her, but I'm not. I'm just like going, grow the fuck up, guys. But yeah, is what it is. But I do, like I say, I do feel like there's not enough knowledge about dwarfism in this world, especially more so in the UK. America, 100%. I mean, we have Little Women LA, we have Little Women Atlanta, we have Little Women Dallas, we have Little Women, Little Women, Little Women, Little Women, Little Women. We have the 7 Little Johnstons, we have Our Little Family, we have Little People Big World. They have so much because of how big their country is. But here in the UK, not so much. Yeah, we've had a couple of shows here and there, or one-off documentaries, but not enough knowledge about people with dwarfism. And that stereotype of them being, like, us being hidden, us being labelled as freaks, us being labelled as kids, us being labelled as unusual, like anybody with any kind of disability. This isn't me just labelling and saying, like, pinpointing, oh, people with dwarfism don't get enough, blah, 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 blah. But you don't see it. I mean, we're only now just bringing out dolls, Barbie dolls, that have, like albinos and, you know, all this kind of stuff. We're only just bringing that out now to the UK. Where's the doll with the dwarfism? Where's that? Can somebody tell me? I don't see one. Do you see one in the shops? No. What's so wrong with us? Anyway, before I rant on anymore, because I can tell I'm ranting on about my height now, I just wanted to bring that story and finally tell you all about my condition. And actually, that's the first time that I've shown people live my legs and everything. So please do not judge. Because, by the way, if you judge, you're getting off this screen. Okay? I mean, I might be able to delete your comments or something, but I'll just go, fuck you. Mwah! I'll kill you with kindness, my loves. So, if you want to call me something, outdoor guys. Maybe. Anyway, like I said, this was another little story time. Quickly get to know me. Well, a long get to know me, so sorry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, share the video. Also, make sure you share it with your friends and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching, and I love you guys, and don't forget to be kind.